Good evening, everyone. My name is Sabrina Viana Torres, and I will be presenting my assignment on liability mitigation strategies. The first question is the laws that apply to crisis management on campus that would mitigate liability of student affairs professionals. Student affairs professionals are responsible for the well-being of students, ensuring that faculty are doing their job and caring for the higher education institution as a whole. It should also ensure that the institution is running as it's supposed to be. So that is some of the liability that the student affairs professionals hold. If a crisis were to occur, the student affairs professional should be one of the first ones to be notified. That way they can take the appropriate steps necessary in order to ensure that this crisis never happens again and that our students, faculty, our higher education institution, and the community surrounding the higher education institution is well on its way to success. The second question is the manner in which you should ethically respond to a crisis that contributes to a potentially satisfactory resolution for all stakeholders. There are different types of responses depending on the crisis that is occurring. It includes either a physical response, emotional response, or a cognitive response. It's important to note that not each crisis has all three. Each crisis is different, and it's important to know the crisis that is occurring so you can take the appropriate steps necessary to ensure it doesn't happen again. The third question is cross-functional teams that should be notified based on the crisis. Cross-functional teams include the counseling center. They can help students with their mental health needs by offering instruction that enhances one's awareness for mental health. They can also focus on promoting the changes of one's behavior that may be affecting the student. Another cross-functional team would be the Health and Wellness Center. If there's a student that has been injuring or is injuring him or herself, then the Health and Wellness Center would be a great place to go and ensure that students are not harming themselves in any other way. Some standard operating protocols for the Student Affairs Department. Student Affairs professionals should identify the students in crisis. Depending on the crisis, there are several protocols that need to be taken place. If there is an injury of a student or students, then they have to have a medical professional on the scene immediately. After then comes counseling and visiting the Health and Wellness Center to ensure that these students are doing okay mentally and physically. If the crisis is not that serious, then it can be dealt with the student affairs professional, and there's no need for calling any medical team. There's no need for any of that, depending on what kind of crisis it is. Some specific follow-up that should be performed after a student has undergone crisis. Just making sure that the student is going to counseling, attending on-campus events to get their mind off of the crisis that has occurred, and so that they can have support from their peers. They can also visit, again, the Health and Wellness Center to ensure that they are not going to fall through the crisis again. As the student affairs professionals, we can also meet with these students that are in crisis to make sure that they're doing good mentally, but above all, that they are still doing good in their classroom setting and accomplishing their educational goals that'll lead them eventually to graduation. How you will maintain professionalism, transparency, and confidentiality within a student crisis management culture that considers local, national, and global trends. Confidentiality is crucial when there's crisis. Crisis can occur, but often the students involved don't want their identity to be known, which is understandable. As student affairs professionals, it can be difficult, especially attending and working for a higher education institution where there are a lot of students. But we must remain professional and ensure that the student's institution and the community are being protected from any confidentiality that could be leaked. Thank you.